All right. I turn the music on. I sincerely hope this is not copyrighted, and if it is, I'm sorry, copyright holders. You know that I am very good about copyright. I have not had a single strike on my channel for this, so I apologize if this is copyrighted, and obviously this whole front part will get muted out. Actually, maybe, you know what? Let's just make a test, because I may stream this again. We've been playing the music for like 5 minutes. Now let's turn it off and save that. And, you know, if I get claimed, if I get claimed for the beginning part, then the rest of the stream can at least be audible. So, yeah, there we go. All right. We're up and running. I've enabled disasters. So, yeah. We're gonna make a new game. Plant ready to start operations. Chemical module. So here is the interesting thing about the chemical module. The back panel has boration, which can help you control your reactivity. And that is really nice because an actual pressurized water reactor has that. However, it's also subject to iodine and xenon poisoning, which a real pressurized water reactor will never feel the effects of while it's operating. It will only feel those effects when it's down for maintenance, and those need to be decayed and then filtered out. So it's like a 50-50. Like, do we want to deal with the xenon poisoning? Because it is really a pain in the arse. It's a pain in the tuchus to deal with. Especially because I have disaster simulations enabled. So that's just already going to be a pain. But I enabled that for the viewers, you know, a little entertaining. So do we suffer with xenon poisoning to get boration control, or do we just turn it off completely and control using the control rods? And so, you know, if you have any preference, let me know. And if you don't have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about, just pick one at random. I don't care. I'll explain it when we get there. So any preference would be greatly appreciated. Because, you know, I don't know. I don't know which to choose. I'm always gonna want to make things as realistic as possible, and so it's just like, is the addition of boration for the subtraction of feeling chemical volume more realistic than not having boration in a PWR, but then not feeling the effects of xenon poisoning, which PWR isn't subject to whilst under normal operation. So that's the question. That's the burning question. And honestly, I think we'll leave it on for today. Let's probably do that. Yeah. If we do a long series, I'll probably turn it off. All right, here we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yep. Yep. All right, so I think we're due to have a tour of the plant. I think that's what we're gonna do. So because we're gonna have a tour, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna turn everything off. Alright, we're all shut down. We want everything off because it consumes electricity, and if we tour the plant, we're gonna have to buy that energy back, which is gonna be a little bit of a problem. So let's just, yeah, switch it all off, and let's go tour the plant. So right away, behind the control panels, you've got all your fuses for everything. On both sides, you know, it goes all the way around. Keep in mind, this is not extremely realistic. It's pretty much a game. We've got our hard suit, and sort of upstairs, here we have our diesel generator. So this is called the internal supply room. We've got our weird assistant. We'll talk about him later. And of course, we've got our emergency batteries so that if we do lose our bulk AC power, we still have control of some systems through the control panel. A lot of systems require AC. However, the control panel can be powered on DC. That's perfectly fine. And here, top floor, there's our cooling tower. Here's the top floor, which doesn't really, you know, do much right now. So we'll just head down. Here's our decon chamber. We'll get to there actually later. We'll start with this area first. If we come down over here, we've got our sort of generator room, turbine hall, if you will, manual valves for everything. This, I believe, is the condensate storage tank. The actual turbine generator, if I remember correctly, should be upstairs, which we can access in here. Here's our transformer room. We can control, you know, our external power supply breakers, our different transformers, manual control. These are our resistor banks. All that can be controlled nicely. And then back over here, we actually have, well, it looks like a storage room. Yeah, storage room right to the reactor. Okay. Here's the core underground. We'll talk about that later. Let's get to the turbine hull. But yeah, that's the condensate storage tank for the hot well on the condenser. And upstairs we've got the turbine. Here's our turbines. There she is, all routed up. We've got only one turbine active right now. Everything else is sort of, you know, build in progress type thing. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, no, he said I should play it, and I was like, you know what, fine, we'll play it, we'll play it. He should join us. Yeah. By the way, your little problem, stabilization control system, those buttons, They don't ignite the engine unless you're under plus X ullage for at least 5 seconds. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So yeah, that was sort of the old turbine hull and the condensate storage and the lube tank. Now we'll show you the reactor hull. We could see the reactor looks very different now, actually. Yeah, things look very, very different in here now. Significant overhaul. It's still like a Triga reactor, and I hate that, but that's what it is. I think these are control rods. We'll talk about those. Here's our pressurizer, and you can see there. Look, there's not a lot of tanks and stuff in here anymore, and you may be wondering, you know, hey, why is that? Like, where's all these tanks and stuff? Like, here's a primary coolant tank, and like, there's all these pumps. They're all gone. Like, look at this. That's a realistic looking pump now. Yeah, so that's what happened. Everything sort of got compressed. And if we look over here, here's our chemical treatment plant. Here we can get a truckload of ion cleaning stuff for everything. It's all good stuff, all good stuff. Boron tank, the ion column, which we can actually open. We should open the ion column so that we can process everything. We can filter everything. Sodium hydroxide. And cleaning water. So this is for later. And then here's our boric acid reserve. And then this room over here is where we hook up to the truck and we pump it in and we do the delivery, or we get our delivery of boric acid. So the flight plan will always specify if you need ullage in your burns. It's written in the MFD, or at least it should be. It is for everything else, so... down here, actually, I don't remember... What is this? This looks new. Some kind of service tunnel. I'm not going to go down there. I tell you, some of these automatic doors. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But yeah, we can actually go underneath the reactor core now. So that's exciting. We can go and we can inspect our control rods and things like that. So here, let's dip down this way to the core underground. Ow. Apparently we die when we go downstairs. Yeah, right now we cannot access core maintenance at all because or core access because it's full. We can get to those rooms though. We can get to those rooms. So if you want to see them, I can drain the core and we can get there. If not, that's fine. We'll just turn everything on. But here is the control rod driver room. And we need to keep an eye out on our hydraulic fluid for each of these control rods. And this is the bottom of the core. And here's our control rod driver motors. So, yeah. If you wanted to see inside the core, I can drain everything if you would like. However, if you're happy with just starting it up, we can do that. So, depends. What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Because if we want to see the core, we're going to have to do it now. You know, once we start up, that's all she wrote, so... please do tell now. Speak now or forever hold your peace, as they say. Here's our pressurizer blowdown tank. Speak now, or you want to see the core? Alright, let's take a look. Reduce the water in the external vessel. Alright, reducing water in external vessel. Here we go. Oh, we need to turn this panel on. Natürlich. Here we go. Oh, you can hear the pump kicking over there. See it? Yeah, there she goes. Isolate the bay. We need to turn EU on. This may take a while, now that I think about it. I don't even know where I'm gonna put all this water, to be honest. We're full up in this tank. And we're not even, the level's not even down, so like where am I gonna put all that water? I mean, we've got to get rid of it. M01, M02. M01. Oh, that may be accessed by some different room. Well, it's still going down, so that's good. This is gonna take a really long time. 50%. I've never seen the inside of the core, so it's something that I'd actually be slightly interested in seeing. Oh, wow. By the way, a little funny thing, we have a blast shield. All right, it's coming down. Yep, just still waiting. It must be that they sort of just made this tank have an infinite capacity just for this feature that got added. They'll probably change up that tank later, I imagine, but 20%. Let's see if we're able to access the first level of the sort of underground area, or if it does all completely have to be drained. Yeah, do not fall in there. Now, we may as well, like, we're so close to being fully drained, we may as well just fully drain it. That's fine. Yeah, you know, I'm super close, but I don't have the watch time yet, so I may put out, like, another short or two. The shorts really are great for promoting the content. Um, you know, shorts aren't really used for actual content. It's like promoting the content. It works really well on shorts. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, open the hatch.
Security alert. Primary circuit pumps have been disabled. There are open hatches or floodgates.
Nice. So that's sort of how we load the fuel in there and unload the fuel. Let's step inside the core, right? That's what we want to do. We're gonna walk inside the core. Here we go. Core maintenance room. Open. Oh man. That's kind of crazy actually. Holy smokes. Here's our rods. Oh, wow. Yep. Now, the inside of the core still has water in it, so we can. Okay, core access. Okay, yeah, the inside of the core... The inside of the core still has water in it, so this makes sense, actually. Or maybe they want us to close this and then open the floodgates. Could be. Let's try. Ah, yeah, so... Alright, as expected, it's just that the inside of the core has water in it. Now, I do have a fuel rod in the staging area of the core, so I'm not exactly certain that I want to remove the water from the core. So I think at this point, I think we'll just call this good enough. What do you think? I mean, we could unload the fuel bundle if you want. And actually step, like, inside the core. We could try that. Numero uno, unload. Impossible to activate piston. One. Set. Unload. Alright, interesting. Wonder what that's all about. Alright, so let's close the hatch then. Let's load the fuel.
Shutdown mode. Shutdown mode.
Ah, yes, we're in shutdown mode. That makes sense. Alright, so we will fill the vessel up. All right. Well, let's fill up the vessel. We'll actually leave that on. We'll turn this one off for now. So everything looks pretty good, so we'll fill her up. We'll get on nominal, and let's turn this puppy on. It was nice to see what kind of changes they made. Although it would be really cool to see inside the core. It would just also be a pain in the arse to dump the core, so let's not do that. And costly, might I add. All right, once we are certifiably in the yellow, we can start getting things turned on. Start up our pressurizer and insert the fuel bundle. All right, it looks like we are certifiably in the yellow.
New operating mode established. Nominal mode.
Fuel loaded. All right, pressurizer. Turbine. Get the bypass opened up. Here we go. Condenser, steam generator. Go. Vacuum pump. And interestingly enough, we do start with a little bit alkali. Interestingly enough. Can start sending it through the old ion exchanger. Okay, actually, it looks to be like it's not moving. All right, we'll just turn it off then. For now. All right, we're set up here.
The reactor core coolant has started to circulate.
How's our pressure? Pressure's coming up. Vacuum is looking good. We can start making the old steam. Rods on. Everything seems to be powered up. Internal temperature is climbing. 98. Let's go 97. Pressure is looking good. Heating power to low. Fill level is almost good. Water level 100%. All right, 96. We're starting to make fission. Starting, not quite though. $95. Here she goes. Here she goes. All right, it's getting there. Yep, the old Cherenkov radiation. Ah, there it goes. It's actually a Triga
The reactor has reached
pulse, so
and its status has changed to reactive.
it's not supposed to do that because this is supposed to be a pressurized water reactor, but it's modeled as if it was a Triga pulse reactor. Ah, yeah, but unrealism. All right, we're sitting a little bit out that edge of that dead band. Let's bring it at 94.5. There we go. Bring up the temperature. Bring up the flow. Here we go. Now we're talking. Let's start our chill down. And once we're up to 100 degrees, then we're, yep, 100 degrees, we're making steam. Steam pressure is coming up. We will allow the steam pressure to stabilize so we know what we're dealing with, you know, before we start sending steam to the turbine. Nah, they're doing, this is not supposed to be a realistic game. This is just supposed to purely be fun, so. And you could see our iodine is coming up. This is the biggest thing. Like, a PWR is not supposed to be subject to these types of whims. This is not an RBMK. Chernobyl just made these poisons popular. However, these are not poisons which you would expect to typically affect a BWR or a PWR. All right, we're coming up. It's almost time to start sending water into the loop. So in preparation for that, let's get the feed water pump running. Oh, this is another thing that drives me nuts. It's the little things, right? I don't even care about giant unrealistic stuff like that. The little things that drive me nuts. Steam jet air ejector. This is supposed to raise your vacuum. In other words, lower the pressure. However, in the sim, at least back in the ye old days, this would actually, yep, and you could see it, it would decrease the steam pressure. Or it would decrease the vacuum of the condenser. So that's my one gripe. It's like, this is supposed to... Yeah, this is supposed to, you know, keep the vacuum stable, or is supposed to actually decrease the pressure and lower the vacuum. It does the exact opposite here. Interesting. So we are dropping water level now, so let's order 25%. We could see that the reactor is completely starting to stabilize itself. So we will need to continue to pull the rods in order to get up to that operating temperature. Let's go down to 93. We should start producing electrical power shortly. How is she doing? All right, we're still losing. Let's order 50. And we are ready to tell them that we're gonna go online. Yes, the analysis of the situation of the plant. Yes! I love that. Such pure English. Because the person that makes this game is Spanish. So the English is like extremely pure. All right, we're getting that temperature up. We can see core temperature starting to come up, so let's bump that up. All right. 1400 you want us online by. Roger Dodger. .92 or 91.5. All right, let's start making power. Bumping up the old steam pressure. Turn on our resistor. And let's also turn on our compensator. Sure. All right, turbines engaged. Let's bring her up. So our target frequency is 50 hertz, the old European standard. I really wish there was a way to just bring this up faster, but there doesn't seem to be.
Operator, maintenance report is complete. Now, you can check it from your tablet.
I wonder if it's faster to... It looks like it's faster to use the auto clicker here. Yep, now she's coming up. Watch, right when we get connected, they're gonna be like, bam! Freaking earthquake. Oh, the level in here is not doing too hot. Let's bump you up 65, please. Temperature of the core is at operational temperature and stable. Nice. We may just bump it down just a hair, actually. Let's insert to 90.8. And just bring that temperature down just a little bit. Because, yeah, that's getting hot. And bump it down just a little more. Ah, finally. All right, here we go. So we gotta raise the bypass a little bit, which lowers the pressure, which allows us to lower the RPM. All right, and think. Woo! We're online. That's it. That's it. All right, external power off. Generator 1 to automatic. That temperature looks like it's coming down. Reactor temp looks like it's pretty good. We can pretty much stabilize now. Pull the rods out by 2. And that should be pretty much right at stable for us. Our iodine concentration is coming up, but yeah, that's sort of the painful part of this game. All right. We could take a look at our service compliance. It's coming up. We may not make it in this hour, but we're putting out, so that's what matters. All right, operating assistant, let's have you do another analysis. We are officially online. With enough moderator empty to actually, you know, spare dumping a little boron in if we so desire. Reactor does look slightly subcritical, so we'll pull the rods out by 0.1. That looks pretty good. Temperature-wise, that looks pretty stable and good. That looks good. Water is looking pretty good here. We could get more steam generator level, or sorry, or more condenser level if we started dropping the steam generator slightly. So let's bump that down to 60. Actually, no, wait. We literally have a way to add it directly to the condenser. I'm stupid. Here we go. Load up the condenser a little bit. Here we can match our excitation. Apparently not perfectly, so I'll just leave it. These are supposed to be perfect with each other because when you sync, it's literally just closing metal on metal contact. So the whole frequency of everything is supposed to stabilize. I also don't know what's up with this effectively derived energy because we didn't change our demand. Oh, that's in kilowatts. Okay. So, okay, that scale change. Oh, that scared me. I was like, 8,000 megawatts? I don't even know a turbine that could probably put out that much anyways. That should have told me right off the bat. That's perfect. Making power. Our fuel temperature is a little hot. A little toasty. But it seems pretty stable. And it's not in the red, so... Yeah, it's a little more inefficient. However, everything else is stable, so... Yeah, thermal efficiency is bad. So we may want to... Like, I don't want to reduce the temperature. See, the problem is you can't get the thermal efficiency good, because if you reduce the temperature of the reactor, you increase the concentration of xenon. Because eventually you just cannot burn it off anymore. There is also the fact that we are slightly dropping in temperature. And here is where that boron comes in nicely. Because we can basically take the control rods out and then use the boron to control it instead. But it looks very stable. It doesn't warrant using the boron in the first place. So if we were to actually do like a plant run series, honestly, I'd probably just turn all of this off, because at this point, it just seems like a hassle. It prevents you from getting good thermal efficiency, first of all. And second of all, we're not even using the main reason why I would use it, which is to control the reactor without the control rods. But the control rods are so stable that there's no point. So all this is a hassle that you wouldn't even notice was there in real life until maintenance started on the reactor anyways. So it is sort of like, what the hell is the point? You know? But we're making power. We're sitting back, relaxing. So yeah, I may just completely disable chemical control module entirely. But yeah, we're sitting back, relaxing. That train outside works a little differently now. I heard it could take you to different places, so let's try that. Yeah, because here's like a sump. Let's make a save just in case it doesn't do what I thought it did. It is not possible to save. Reservoirs, main entrance. Ah, so we can go to the old reservoirs. Let's try that. We're not getting any alarms, are we? Doesn't look like it. Ah, no energy. There we go. Let's go to the reservoirs. Oh, hey, that's where the service tunnel leads. That's our pump house. Wow. That's actually pretty cool. There's the old cooling tower. Hope the plant's doing alright. Looks like we got the old maintenance report. How's it doing? Electrical turbines got a little bit of wear. Pressurizer heaters, a little bit of wear. Everything's, yeah, pretty nice. Pretty good. We'll hit our service compliance. Everything is pretty stable. Oh, we left that condenser pump on accident. Whoops. Not a problem though. We just send it right back to the old external coolant reservoir. I mean, the bypass is open quite a bit. If we really wanted to, we can bump. We can bump the cooling. Not down. We can bump it up. And that'll start decreasing the core inlet, which will increase our thermal efficiency. However, that will also start decreasing the temperature of the reactor, so look at that. We're gonna hit service compliance. What's our next sort of predicted little shindig we gotta deal with? Are we expected to go up or down? We're expected to stay extremely stable. Okay, sounds good. Then we'll sit. Operator assistant, you can go to your charger. We have complied with service. Absolutely. Alright, so yeah, you can see from here on, once the reactor is started up, it kinda gets a little boring, not gonna lie. So that's just the only thing, right? Random window shade. Just cause. We can hear the turbines spinning though. Could go visit the turbine. That sounds like a good plan. Of course, the reactor is extremely quiet. That's our circulation pump. I wonder what's up here. Oh, this is our spent fuel storage. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, Rebel should see this. He's not online. I'm streaming this just for him, and he's not even here. Don't touch that. Yeah, we can hear all that running. I'm not gonna lie, I thought the turbine would sound much louder. I mean, this thing should literally sound like a behemoth. I don't know if I would trust this elevator. Oh my god, I forgot the valve was open. Jesus Christ. Why do I forget this little shit? Nope. Yep. Oh, Christmas. Alright. Marketplace. Here we go. Supplies and parts. No, I'm looking for... logistics and deliveries? No, I'm looking for a way we can get our external reservoir refilled. Alright, well, now is the time I think we would use a little bit of time compression. Oh, you know what? We never took from the external cooling reservoir. This condenser pump just magically takes from somewhere. I don't know where. Um... There we go, just chilling out. Sunset is here, so demand for energy has gone down. Or is going to go down, that is. Everything is quite stable. I mean, iodine's going up, which means that we have to sort of constantly keep pulling our rods. Here we go. I don't want xenon. Let's go to 87. Compliance. Yeah, see, this is why I hate the chemical module. In real life, it would never have this much of an effect. And we haven't even used the boron at all, which is the reason I wanted to use it in the first place. Damn. It's like there's no fucking point. Well, I'll tell you what, the rest of everything else is really stable.
Operator, I'm going to start with the analysis of the situation of the plant.
No audits scheduled. Very nice. We could buy an entire new loop if we wanted. However, quite frankly, I personally would buy another resistor. In case ours goes kaput. But there's also the ability to upgrade. For example, we can upgrade our resistor. We can increase the resistance. And we can increase our, or improve our heat dissipation. I don't know what increase absorption is supposed to be. To be quite honest, that sounds bad, because that's our, like, dissipation and absorptions in reference to thermal. So here we could, for example, upgrade the resistance. Capacity here is 90,000 kilowatts before it starts having heat problems. We're only at 3,000, so I don't see the need to upgrade anything at the moment. I see it all as we're pretty good, honestly. And here's the old xenon again. All right. Quite frankly, we can really speed things up. What does that do? Oh, that's global control. Yeah, let's not do that. That's kind of nifty. There's our assistant operator cruising around the plant doing his maintenance.
Operator, maintenance report is complete. Now, you can check it from your tablet.
Oh yeah, I mean, these aren't that big to be honest. All right, I say after this, we're probably gonna stop this for today, just because it is getting slightly boring. You know, it's like once you're up and everything's running smoothly, it gets slightly boring. But yeah, just thought I would play this day because someone requested it. They're not even here, unfortunately. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, we're at level 1 operator level at the moment. We can make ourselves a save soon. Is there any way we could see our status? No. Here, you can actually start a web server where you can play multiplayer, which is kind of cool. And you can actually put all of this display on another monitor, actually, which is cool as well. But yeah, sort of, this hour is done. Everything is sort of done, so I figured what better way to end this than by letting them know we're going to be doing a scram. All right, we can do the scram at 2300, you say. Well, we're not going to roll with this save anyways, because I want to take off this stupid chemical volume thing. So fuck it, let's just do it.
Warning. The emergency protocol has been started. Warning. Critical shutdown of the reactor. Attention. Unable to start emergency protocol when the core of the reactor is not reactive.
All right, here she goes.
reactor core coolant has stopped circulating.
See, that's the importance of batteries. You just found out. We still have control a little bit, except lots of things don't have power. DG1 is starting, but we could just click on external power. There we go.
The reactor core coolant has started to circulate.
Manual. Stop. Here we go. It's gonna shut down soon.
New operating mode established. Shutdown mode.
And that's it. Reactor is off. It's coasting down now. Steam generator temperature is going to reach less than 100 soon. I don't know why the steam generator is still increasing in level, though. We will have to dump that. Evaporator 03. Alright, we are no longer making steam. So at that point, we can shut down our vacuum. And why the hell not? We can just kill the vacuum as well. Here's something fun we can do.
The reactor core coolant has stopped circulating.
There you go.
The reactor core coolant has started to circulate.
Alright. With that done, we can close the turbine bypass. Actually, we should monitor that down to 0. Everything is set here, though.
The reactor core coolant has stopped circulating.
We can see the iodine is decaying now. The xenon will take much, much longer to decay, though.
The reactor has lost critical mass reactivity, and its state has changed to non-reactive.
There it goes. Alright, that's it. That's everything. Alright, there we go. So, thanks for hanging out. Since everyone was asking for it, I thought I would provide. So, yeah. See you all later. Have a good one. And I, for one, am starving. So, peace out.